Garfunkel music means that it is the third Friday of the month. We're here at your City Spotlight show with this is Perry Smith, KHTS AM 1220 News Director, and I'm here in the studio with Frank Oviedo and Rick Gould. Frank is the City Assistant Manager, and Frank Gould is the Director of Parks, Arts, and Recreation in the City of Santa Clarita. Frank, this is your first time on the show. Tell me a little bit about your background and where do you come to the city from?
Well, I actually worked at the city almost a decade ago, probably about 11 years ago. I left. I went and became the deputy city manager up in Elk Grove, which is a suburb of Sacramento. Then after that, I had left and took a city manager job in Riverside County with a newly incorporated city of Wildomar, which is in the Temecula-Marietta area, and then spent almost 4 years there and then landed right back where I started my local government career, right here in Santa Clarita.
And when you say newly incorporated, how recent was the city of Wildomar formed?
It was formed in 2008.
Oh, okay.
So I was their very first city manager, full-time city manager.
And here at the City Spotlight Show, we like to talk about all things Santa Clarita. And so tell me a little bit, what is the assistant city manager? What is your kind of purview? What is your responsibility? I know you work directly with Ken Striplin, who's our city manager. Talk to me a little bit about, kind of what you like to focus on.
Well, the assistant city manager's role is really the day-to-day operational side of the city. I work directly with the directors, and there's a lot of activity on any given day, as you can imagine. And in conjunction with the city manager's office, there's a lot of decisions have to be made, and so I work with each of the directors in problem solving and making policy decisions and figuring out how to move the city forward on a day-to-day basis.
So it would be fair to say you're more on the kind of broader direction of the city as opposed to just kind of nitpicking little details and traffic lights.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's a little bit more broad approach to what I oversee, and then it drills down even yet another level with the directors who oversee their various departments.
And the city recently finished up its budget, right, for this year. That was probably one of the first major things that you guys got going on.
Yeah, that's right. When I got to the city in January, the budget had just been put together, but yeah, we just recently adopted it.
And with that, some of the interesting things that are happening in the city, I think, have to do with a lot of the capital improvement projects. Talk to me a little bit about that, and what do we have on the horizon?
Well, there's a lot of projects that actually already started. We're in the new fiscal year, and then we got a lot of projects that you'll see going that are not just within the fiscal year, but will go on for several years now. But some of the bigger projects, we try to make sure that we spend our resources throughout the whole city. And one of the areas that you'll see in this upcoming year, as in the Canyon Country part of the city, we've got some really good projects. One of the big ones that we're doing is the Sand Canyon State Route 14 landscape beautification. There's been a big effort over the last few years to really do as much beautification throughout the city, and that's one of them because it is an entrance into the city, and that area will see a huge improvement.
So what are we doing there? What does that beautification project entail? Is that kind of, just making the area look a little nicer, I'm imagining, with the beautification?
Yeah. Well, there's about 3.4 acres of landscaping that's going to be put in. We'll be putting some oak trees, new shrubbery that matches the natural landscape of the area. So when people come in from the eastern side of town, they'll come into the city and they'll see this beautifully landscaped intersection that will really kind of introduce you to what you will see the rest of the way through the city. And so that's a big project that'll be coming up this year.
And we're putting a big welcome to City of Santa Clarita sign there around it?
You'll know that you're entering the city of Santa Clarita.
Good deal. And what's happening with Golden Valley, the road bridge widening? That's kind of the same deal on the 14, right?
That's right. We're going to be widening the bridge there at Golden Valley and the 14. And again, that's just in the continuous effort to make sure that traffic is flowing properly through the city. That'll be another project that will help that area and reduce congestion and make people's commute and just generally the quality of life in the city much better. So we're really looking at when we get an opportunity to make the traffic flow in various areas of the city that we know that have been issues. That's one of them that will make a big impact in that part of the town.
And you've been through, I'm sure, countless projects with all of your city experience. What is that process like? How does that come from just, hey, we need to make this area look a little bit nicer, to all of a sudden we have, 3.5 acres of landscaping, or we want to heighten the atmosphere, and now all of a sudden it's on paper and it's kind of...
Well, one of the big aspects that, and certainly here in Santa Clarita is big, is public outreach. We want to let the public know. We want their input. We hear from the public on a daily basis, and we want to be able to be as responsive to the community as possible. Our council members are on the front line. They hear residents' concerns, and our job as a city staff is to help when we get direction to go do something such as a beautification project or a widening of a bridge to help congestion. We immediately go out, start reaching out to the public, asking their opinion, getting feedback, and then that's really the foundation for everything we do in the city. And then from there, we go through the budget process, get some money, and then we even continue, even after we have the money funded and the project identified, we'll continue to reach out to the community to make sure that during the construction, it's least intrusive as possible.
And so the outreach is surveys, it's questionnaires,
It's surveys, it's public meetings,
the town halls.
Town halls. We get a lot of information through internet and social media. So we really employ all the various tools to reach out to the public and have them be able to, in any way possible, up to and including showing up at City Hall the old-fashioned way.
And the advantage of this is just obviously we have a nicer area, and we're gonna talk a little bit about some of the feedback in the process. Coming up after the break, we're gonna talk a little bit about the Old Town New Hall roundabout, which I know you guys have done a lot of outreach on, and we're just about to break ground on that. So when we get back from the break, we'll talk about that with Frank Oviedo and Rick Gould here in the studio. This is the City Spotlight Show, and we'll be right back. This is your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.